Customer wants to buy something. Company wants to sell something. What's sitting in between them? A form. If you think about registration, company wants to grow their user base. Someone wants to be part of that community or product where they have, and again, what's between them is a form. So in all these places where this connection happens between the organizations that make things on the internet and the people that use those things, there's generally a form. And those forms, as you say, consist of input fields. The biggest mistake that I think people make is treating those things from what I would call almost a back-end perspective. That is, inside of a database, to simplify things, you have these name-value pairs, right? Name and then a field for what the name is. And you've got a whole bunch of these things, and they constitute something like the record of a user or a purchase. And when it comes time to collect that information to fill in that database, what you do is you just spit out those name-value pairs as input fields and labels. And ta-da, job done with a form. So both of these things I learned almost the hard way, if you will, at eBay, about how to think about them differently. When I was at eBay many years ago, it was the 28th largest economy in the world. So lots and lots of people buying and selling things on there. And we found that when we made small changes to these forms, we could really have a huge impact. In fact, when we redesigned the registration form process, we had to go back to Wall Street and restate earnings because that was how tremendous the impact was. And when you think about the ability for something like a form to impact something like the 28th largest economy in the entire planet, you really start to understand the importance of all the little details in the forms. And that goes well beyond which name value pairs you include, how you put the labels in, what kind of form control you use, what kind of feedback you give to people as they're filling in this information, how do you organize it, what do you do to message the before and after parts of the form, because it's part of a broader flow. And so the biggest mistake is really not considering that full envelope of form design and really just regurgitating a database's fields onto a screen and putting a submit button on the bottom.